destroying a surveillance camera and throwing a bike at a security guard shack in his gated community in South Florida. Charges were not pressed, and the Bucs say that they are aware of this incident and that since his signing, AB has met all expectations they've had for him. So, Shannon, will Brown be able to stay out of trouble for the rest of the season?
Skip, I am well aware that the Lakers won the title. I'm aware of that, and we will proceed accordingly.
You bring it up like every 3 minutes.
I do. My bad. I'm sorry. You're going to repeat, too. Skip, to think that all AB had to do was stay out of trouble, and he almost threw it away, lets you know that he's still on thin ice. It also goes to show me and to tell me just how bad Tampa really was willing to sign him. Because Tampa knew this. They never know they're aware of this. They knew this before.
Okay, but the league says it was not aware in October, or is it possible they would have tacked on a couple more games?
Absolutely. No, they wouldn't have tacked on no more games. He wouldn't have been able to play this year.
All right.
And, Skip, look, for me, AB, I don't know what you were thinking. Bruh, you got to get a hold of this. Second of all, Skip, why is this coming out now? Why you want to stay in demand? Okay, they didn't press charges. So what's that issue here? I mean, you bring this up to say what? To do what? You had this information in October. This happened in October, right before he allegedly, right before he signed with Tampa.
Yep.
So you had this information to what? To make him look bad? To make the league look bad? Why? I mean, if you don't, you didn't press charges, so he's clear. He good.
As Antonio's new spokesperson said, where's this narrative coming from?
Well, it's not a narrative, Skip. Yep. It actually happened. I mean, you didn't, Skip. You notice they didn't say it didn't happen, this narrative. My only thing is that I don't get what you're trying to do with it now. Because this incident happened a month ago, a little over a month ago, Skip, and you bring it up to make him look bad. I guess that's the narrative that they're going for. Now, look, and for me, AB, just stay out of trouble. I think that's the best thing. If I'm Tom, when we get home, I lock the door, ain't nobody in or out. It ain't, sometimes people had to have bars in the house. I say, I don't keep bars to keep out. I keep it to keep you in.
Yep.
So, AB, just have lunch, have dinner, whatever you do with Tom, and just go to your room.
Okay.
Because clearly you're not to be trusted unless it's at the practice facility or at Tom's house. If I'm Tom, I can't let you out of my sight.
Okay. So, by the way, remember the January incident?
The moving truck?
Yes, the moving truck. And he was charged with felony burglary and battery and 2 lesser misdemeanor charges. And as part of the settlement of that case, he was given probation that required a 13-week anger management course along with psychological evaluation, which had to be going on during the time of this October incident. So right in the middle of that, as he's trying desperately to get reinstated and back in football, he loses his temper and goes crazy over an incident within the confines of the gated community in which he lives. And according to the president of that homeowners association, the only reason that they didn't press charges was that she feared, that was one thing, he did pay for it, but she feared that he may retaliate against her employees. So they were fearing that he can go so crazy, he might take it out on one of our employees, the guards or the people who work the grounds or whatever, and he wrecked a security camera. Okay, so he took care of that. But my point is, the point that we've talked about 1,000 times on this show, Antonio's got issues, and I'm sure he still does. And we don't have time to go through everything he's been involved in, but it's unbelievable that he's even back in the league right now.
Skip, and this is why I think the league probably won't intervene, because they don't want to look up as like, man, you've already suspended him, and now you're going to suspend him again or take. But I'm looking at AB. Somebody say, you know what, AB? Keep your nose clean. I got this job for you. It's just like anywhere in normal society. Hey, keep your nose clean. I got this job for you in about 3 weeks. Okay. And what I go do, Skip? I go act a fool somewhere. And man, I'm not going to be able to. I told you to just keep your... AB,
Okay.
come on, bruh.
We've had James Harris on the show, very close to AB. He needs help. He needs counseling.
Yeah.
Well, apparently it wasn't taking back in not that long ago, just in October.
To get so upset, Skip, to know now, if you're in the league, it's one thing, Skip, but to know that my behavior, my contingency of getting back into the NFL is based on how I behave in this time frame, and I still can't control it.
Yep.
To know that, Skip, to know that my very livelihood and what I want to do going forward is based on how I behave right now.
Yep.
And he said, man, forget that. Crack and throw the body.
Okay, so what do we know about Antonio Brown? He's had sexual assault, allegations, right? And yet the one still hasn't gone to trial yet. The civil suit comes to trial December 14th to 18th. So that's.
But if he loses that, what does the NFL do with that?
I don't know. It's a great question. That's over my head.
Right. Because so my thing is that are you suspending him for what might have happened, or are you going to suspend him again?
He's had domestic violence accusations in his past. It got so bad last year that he, in a fit of rage, he threw furniture off the top floor of a condominium.
Like 8 stories, like 8 floors up. Yeah,
I think it was more than that.
Might have been. Yeah.
Threw big furniture pieces off down into the pool area and endangered the life of a 2-year-old.
Like a 2-year-old, yeah.
Okay, so it's one thing after another, after another, after another. Now we come to the most incredible story I think I've ever seen in the history of this league, that the GOAT quarterback says, I want that guy.
Right.
I want him on my team, and I want him to live with me in my house in Tampa, Florida.
Right.
And I don't know if it's because Brady thinks he's Father Flanagan and he's going to save his soul. Obviously, we both agree, Tom just sees greatness in AB as a football player.
Yeah.
I can win with that guy.
Correct.
I've never had anything quite like that except for Randy Moss.
Right.
I've got something pretty close to Randy. I don't think he's Randy Moss, obviously, because who is? But he thinks he could be close. He could tilt the whole league in favor of Tampa Bay because he has that much impact, right?
It always has and it always will be this way. When you're immensely talented, you're going to get a longer lead to do things because we've seen players. Skip, and I know LT. LT was great, but the only reason they let LT do that because you can make a case LT is the greatest football player to ever live.
You could.
So you make concessions.
Yep.
Guys like Skip, guys like you want the guys to say be great role models and be great fathers and husbands and brothers and great teammates. You win with talented guys like that. And you move heaven and earth and you make concessions that you wouldn't normally make to get guys like that. That's just the way it is. I wish everybody could be model and be perfect and stand upright like a Peyton Manning and conduct themselves and give the picture perfect interview and be great. But that ain't how professional sports work, Skip. I'm sorry.
So we have the GOAT quarterback risking his reputation, his image for that guy. Now wearing number 81. He doesn't care. He only cares about winning championships.
Because you know what Tom Brady's come to the realization. There are people that already have up in their mind who I am, what I am, and I can't change that. And there are people that's going to love me no matter what.
Yep.
I can't change that.
True.
Let me go win this 7th Super Bowl, and I don't care what y'all think. One way or the other, that guy can help him accomplish that mission. That's what Tom Brady sees.
After we talked about Antonio being forced into what was a very successful 6-2 mix before him, his targets didn't go down in his second game. They went up. So that's Brady just saying, hell with all of you. I'm going to feature him. I'm going to force his way into our rotation of receivers, and I'm going to show you it will work. So we had Bruce Arians saying, hey, it's not hard if everybody would just check their egos at the door.
But Skip, that's easy if you grow up in a situation like that. It's easy for a player that grew up with the Patriots, go somewhere else and check his ego. But when has AB ever had to check his ego?
Never.
When has Mike Evans had to check his ego?
Never.
So it's hard for those guys. And Bruce, BA, little advice. How about you check yours?
Thank you.
Instead of telling Tom Brady to run your offense, let him run his stuff.
Yeah.
Check your ego, bro.
Yeah. Instead of being too cool and saying, don't look at me, Tom screwed it up against New Orleans. I don't know what happened. We practiced great. That's all about your ego because you're in a spotlight that you've never been in before because you got the GOAT playing quarterback. His ego might be the biggest in the whole room right now.
Right. But for me, Skip, I could have done without this. I really could have. I hate that.
Without what?
About this information coming out about AB. Well, because not to say that he did or did. I mean, they said the homeowner association said he did do it. But I want to know why is it getting out there now? What did they hope to accomplish?
Just to discredit.
Was it a situation you hoping to blackmail the guys? Like, hey, I will put this out there if you don't give me some money.
What does it create sympathy for him now?
No, I don't think it's going to create sympathy because they're going to say, bruh, you like to effed it up again.
Almost.
You had good situations in Pittsburgh. You had good situations in Oakland. You had a good situation in New England. And here you are right before you're about to get into another great situation.
Yep.
You about to F that up. If anything, people are going to be more critical of it. Like, bro,
agreed.
How many more opportunities you get to mess this up before you realize?
So do you believe with Tom Brady's help that he can get through the rest of this football season and the playoffs unscathed?
I guess I'm gonna have more confidence in Tom being able to keep him under control as opposed to AB doing the right thing.
I would agree.
I would say if AB was on his own, there would be zero chance that he would be able to control it.
I just believe enough in Brady and his commitment and his leadership and his heart. He's got a big heart, and I think he sees a big heart in Antonio too. Because we've been around Antonio. He can be a really great guy. He's got huge charisma. I think Brady, I saw him chatting on the sideline at the end of the game the other day once they were out of the game and it was done. And they look like best friends. And they're laughing. You wonder, what do they even have in common? Football. That's all.
And that's my thing. In other words, to make a long story short, Skip, I have more confidence in Brady being able to keep it in the center lane as opposed to AB. AB would have sideswiped somebody.
I would agree, and I still think it will barely work.
I hope so for your sake.
What is there to say?
You're going to lose your mind.
I will lose my mind.
We'll wait and see. I feel like a broken record sometimes when we talk about him. Who knows at this point? Guys, Chris Paul is on the move again, but not Shannon to the Lakers. We'll tell you if his new team